A monster looks around with my eyes, flexes my hands, and inhales with my lungs. For once, it's not even me. Wow, the slime comments, voice sounding as if I was trying to copy Penelope's tone and cadence. You're very short. Hey, fuck you, I think, mentally grinning. It doesn't take at first, but after a delay she makes it real. Then she turns my body to Penelope and bows deeply. Thank you, she says fervently, for allowing me to exist. I am so sorry. I know I may never make it up to you, but I owe you everything. I'll do whatever you want. Just please don't kill me. My eyes are looking down at the road, but I hear Penelope take a shaky breath. She starts to walk closer. Is that really all you are? She hisses. Is there nothing more important to you than staying alive? I begged you, to set me free. To let me have just a few moments to reclaim my sanity. Where was your contrition then? I'm sorry, the slime almost whispers. You would have screamed. You would have cried for help. You would have tried to get me killed. I saw your thoughts. You were planning it every time. Of course I was. Penelope screams. You. How dare you act like a person? How dare you tell me that you had no choice while you laughed with my voice, made friends with my team and enjoyed fancy baths under my name? The bath was for you. I wanted you to enjoy. Liar. Penelope shrieks, tears starting again. If you only care about me when it's convenient, you don't care about me at all. Throwing me a chewed bone like I'm a starving dog on the street is not mercy, you arrogant, insufferable thing. I am not your coddled pet. The slime turns my head upwards, finally breaking the bow. Penelope is close, her face a mess of tears and rage. If you were in my position, the slime asks evenly, would you have done any different? If our roles were reversed, would you die for me? Or would you have watched me suffer? She would watch, I suspect. Penelope is a survivor. The slime knows that, inside and out. It's why she asked. Our positions are not reversed, Penelope answers, glowering. What ifs do not excuse you? I don't ask to be excused, my body replies easily. Only understood. With that, the slime lets go. I stumble slightly, surprised at suddenly having control again, then stand up straight. I'm back, I tell Penelope. Good for you, she answers, crossing her arms. Sorry, I say, scratching my cheek. I get that I'm basically harboring your torturer because she was really nice to me while she tortured you. How aptly put, Penelope growls. Okay, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to say on my part. I believe her, though, I insist. When she says she's sorry, and when she said she felt like she had no other choice. I don't think she's evil. She did bad stuff, but she doesn't deserve to die. Just, work off the debt, maybe. She's smart and useful. Penelope is clearly livid, but considers it despite herself. If you die, there will be nothing stopping it from taking me over again, she points out. Well, we'd best make sure I stay alive, then. I answer, grinning. She sneers. You cheeky, conniving bitch. Thank you, Vita, I respond in a mocking voice. Thank you so much for keeping me alive on our hunt, and saving me from mind control slimes, and earning me an indebted slime servant, and escorting me all the way back to Skyhope so we don't get murdered by monsters or bandits on the road. I really appreciate it, Vita. Looking away, she snorts, perhaps trying to hide a smile. You did all those things for your own sake, she protests. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But are you free now or aren't you? Holding herself tightly, she takes a deep breath before answering, glancing around the surrounding forest. I suppose I'm free, she whispers. And you're going to stay that way, I tell her firmly. No matter what. I promise. Besides, you're a genius biomancer. I bet you already have a plan on how to stop getting possessed a second time, right? Penelope slowly lets her breath back out, shaking as if still close to tears. She nods to me, though, forcing her expression to stay calculating. Okay. We'll do it your way, then. For now. I smile and nod back, setting off slowly down the road back home. Penelope follows next to me, head held high out of habit more than mood. I reach up, tapping on my neck again to signal my currently deaf companion, and the slime takes over. Hey there, I think at her. Do you have a name? Penelope, she says, causing Penelope to look up. Yes? You can't be named Penelope. Penelope is Penelope. What about Penta? You copy memories, so you're probably gonna end up half Penelope, half Vita. Penta, huh? My body murmurs. I suppose it fits. I'll grow into it, anyway. I still have a deep-seated hatred of nicknames. Oh, you're the slime again, Penelope says, scowling. Yes, hello, Penta answers her. Vita wanted to talk to me. This is about the only way I can do it. Hearing you talk to yourself is disturbing, Penelope answers. At least give me both sides of the conversation. That's not a bad idea, I think. We should practice swapping between each other anyway. It'd be convenient if you didn't have to completely lose your senses when I'm in control, as well. Can you do partial control? Passive control? I don't know, Penta says. It's worth a try. You have a very strange mind. Everything is colorful. Thanks, I think. Thanks, I think. Penta says out loud, copying the way I thought it. Wow, that's really disturbing. Wow, that's really disturbing. We might need to work on the time lag. We might need to work on the time lag. Look, I'm trying, okay? Neither of us have done this before, it's difficult. Penelope gives us a concerned look, prompting me to flash a reassuring grin back at her. My body actually does so about a second later. We'll figure it out, I coax my body to say. It's just going to take some practice. I still can't believe you're attempting this, Penelope answers, shaking her head. It's a parasite, and you're letting it in on purpose. This is going to backfire, Vita. Maybe it will, but I doubt it. If Penta is picking up my memories and habits, well, gratitude is pretty much my single driving motivator. I feel Penta frown slightly, perhaps considering that very thought. You're a lot more manipulative than I took you for initially, Vita, she says. Penelope raises an eyebrow. Hey, I went well out of my way to save your slimy butt, I answer. That's genuine. She smiles with my face. I can't imagine that ever not feeling weird. True, you did. And I know it was. Thank you. Though I must say, I can see why you have such a soft spot for a monster like me. Hey, maybe don't say shit that will get Penelope suspicious. You'll probably be able to tell her, Penta whispers quietly. If she trusts you with me, she'll trust you with that. And if not, we're both screwed anyway. Huh? I don't know about that. It seems risky. She'd be a useful person to know, but if a noble goes around claiming I'm an animancer. You took the risk with me, and I'm basically her. Firstly, you're in my body and I can kill you if you try to tell anyone. Kind of a different situation. Secondly, you're not her. You have aspects of her, but you two are very different people. I think about each of their souls, how Penelope's traits manifested inside the glob of slime but still remained distinct. I can't say that makes me feel better about this, Penta answers. The threats really aren't necessary, and you should know that. Have you looked? Hold on. Yeah, I feel it. That's no good. What? Penelope demands. Big monster incoming, both of us say at once. Shit, I thought the roads were supposed to be safe. Well, relatively safe. Something nasty is headed our way, though. A huge, sleek soul, grey and sharp. It feels strained, like maybe it's injured. Oh geez, if it's on the run from an even bigger monster. Well, I don't feel anything like that, thank goodness. Still, it's huge and fast and headed right for us. Just Penelope and I against it? I don't like those odds at all. I grab Penelope by the arm and sprint off the road. We leap over shrubs and stumps, making a beeline for the tree line. Fighting this thing is a bad idea, so I'm really hoping we can just hide. It takes a while to get to the opposite side of the clearing, but we just barely make it before a massive beast crashes out of the trees on the far end. It's a terrifying creature, with 4 limbs each bigger than me that look like thick, muscled arms. The central bit is mostly a sharp-toothed mouth, the arms seemingly attached to a giant head rather than a body. It moves by grabbing tree trunks and hurling itself forward, so when it hits the clearing it's forced to scamper awkwardly across the road. I see it slow down, sniffing at the air. I hold my breath. Don't smell us, don't smell us, don't smell us. Fucking hell, it starts to clamber right towards us. Shit. Penelope looks grim, but starts casting a spell without missing a beat. You better be able to fucking kill this, Penelope. I hiss at her, rushing out of cover towards the damn thing. It's awkward on the road, so I can't let it get to the trees. Me? Penelope shrieks. What about you? I have a stick. I yell back, brandishing the weapon. You have a death touch. That works on small things. This thing is bigger than my fucking house. The banter ends when a massive hand takes a swing, forcing me to duck or get splattered into paste. The wind from the strike missing knocks me on my ass, and I barely scramble backwards as the monster brings 2 more fists down on the section of road we were on just a split second ago. Fuck. Fuck. This is exactly the kind of thing I went through so much effort to avoid back in the forest. Why is it on the damn road? No time to question it. How do I survive? I don't think the stinky spear is getting through its skin. Maybe, hypothetically, I could stab it in the eyes, thrusting the spear deep enough for a killing blow? Yeah, right. I'm not that good. How would I even reach? Run up its fucking arm? Probably a bad idea, Penta comments, startling me so bad I almost dodge straight into a death blow. She corrects for me, moving us out of the way. Fuck. No talking while fighting. Just give me control. I have one plan, and it's terrifyingly simple: keep dodging and hope Penelope kills it before it kills me. It's not a good plan, but what the fuck else am I supposed to do? My body is light. I had a good night's rest recently. I just ingested a huge amount of souls and I'm feeling better than I ever have before in my life. Yet this toothy, 4-armed freak is way bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me, and eventually it's only a matter of time before it. Crack hits me. A wild swing catches me in the side, snapping my arm and shattering more than a few ribs as it lifts me off the ground and flings me clear to the other side of the road. Vaguely, I hear Penelope scream my name in terror as I sail through the air. Breath ejects from my body as I land on my back, skidding down the dirt road. Shit. Shit. The creature pounds over to me, intent on finishing the job. I scramble to my feet, letting my shattered arm dangle. No sense carrying that damn spear anymore. Why does it always go back to me and my fucking knife? Maybe I should actually spend some of my money on better gear. I stagger back as it lunges again, barely keeping my footing. You know, Soul, now would be a great time to unlock some new animancy bullshit. There's no answer, of course. I'm not that lucky. Hard way it is, then. I gather all the power I can into my dagger hand. It's big and I don't like my odds, but it's no Remus. I have to try. The massive, monstrous hand swings for my head and stops. Slowly, deliberately, the creature sits down. I look it in the eyes. Its freakish mouth smiles at me. Then, it brings an arm to its own teeth and bites, shattering bone and ripping its limb clean off. Blood sprays over my face as it tears at its arms, ripping itself asunder. Then it moves to the next limb, then the next, biting, ripping, destroying. It screams in pain but bites anyway. Cutting, chewing, tearing, it finally moves to the 4th limb, haltingly, staggeringly. But collapses before it can finish its cannibalistic self-quadriplegia. I take a deep breath, nearly collapsing back to the ground as a tiny, nearly invisible blob of slime flows out of the monster's back, over the ground, and back up my leg. Yes, you're right, my mouth says, unbidden. I suppose it is more efficient if I let you control for your body. Okay. You earned that one. Thanks, Penta. The monster is still breathing, if barely. I painfully stagger back over to where I dropped my spear, holding it one-armed as I circle around towards the monster's eyes. Can it move? No, my mouth promises. I suspect it will die on its own in a few minutes, if that. Yeah, I can believe it. She really mutilated the fucker. Still, I want to kill it myself. Even if it's not strictly necessary, I bring the spear up and jab it down through an eyeball, putting all my meager weight behind it. It sinks through flesh, carving something important out of the head and bringing an end to the monster's life. A huge soul floats out of the body, which I immediately swallow to take the edge off the pain. The sleek feeling as it slides down my throat, the sharpness eroding away to nothing as I dissolve it in myself. Ah, it's so satisfying. Lie down. Penelope orders, running out from cover towards me. Shouldn't we get away from the core? Lie down. I obey. I'm worried about scavengers coming after us, but I'm not gonna argue with the biomancer. I let myself collapse to the dirt, searing pain hitting me anew as the adrenaline starts to wear off. I thought it was pretty bad at first, but now it's getting worse and worse. She reaches me, hitting my body with a quick scan before starting her work. "This is going to be uncomfortable," she comments, as the inside of my chest starts to reconfigure itself. Shards of bone are ripped out of organs as the organs stitch up and move back into place. Occasionally she stops to collect and pull concerningly large globs of blood up from my lungs and out my mouth, telekinetically tossing them onto the road with a splatter. "Okay, you're good to talk again," Penelope says eventually. "So please tell me what the fuck you were thinking?" "I didn't exactly have a lot of time to think," I complain. "There was sort of a giant, hungry monster taking up my attention." "Thanks for not killing me while you worked," Penta adds. "Actually, better question, what the hell was Remus thinking, sending us back to Skyhope alone?" Penelope grumbles, seemingly ignoring both of us. "Didn't he think you were his child, or something?" "He probably thought you would be safe with Vita," Penta answers. "Charging out from deep in the forest is not normal monster behavior. Besides, his child would have lived no matter what. We can always just infect the winner of a fight and find a new host." "How very comforting," Penelope grumbles. "We need to stop him before he spreads any more of you." "Agreed," Penta and I say together. "He's not considering cooperation an option, when it obviously is," Penta adds. "But what can we do to stop him? He's controlling Remus." "Can we just send the guild after him?" I groan. "I've had enough of getting beat up by Remus for one lifetime." Penelope snorts. "The guild head is a bureaucrat, not a hunter. He'd call in other hunter teams or possibly the Templars, and they'd all happily kill Remus in order to deal with the slime." "Ooh, maybe I can pick up his soul." "No. Wait, Remus dying is bad, right? That's bad? I guess I like Remus." "They'll also start a purge looking for other Nora," Penta comments. "Which might get them searching for us." The implication being that that would not only be bad for Penta's longevity, but also mine. There's no way the Templars don't have some method of detecting animancy. "Yeah, that'll probably all suck, but the alternative is trying to kill Remuslime ourselves," I point out. "Is that even possible?" Penta and Penelope have no answer to my question, which seems to settle it. I stand up and stretch, heading over to the monster corpse and giving it a spiteful kick. Damn, that soul was good, though. I wonder if its meat would be good. Should we take an arm home? No, that would attract other monsters. Ooh, maybe we'll get attacked again and I can eat more souls. "Your gluttony is a little concerning," Penta comments. Watch his eyes, is she thinking about eating that thing? Penelope grimaces. "Of course I am. It's free meat. Maybe we can treat it real fast and chomp it while it's juicy. I am pretty hungry after all that biomancy, so arguably." No, we're not eating raw monster meat," Penta objects, forcing me to start the walk back to town. "How about we get out of here before the scavengers get ballsy, I mentally pout but don't overrule her, and a relieved Penelope follows after the two of us. An hour of walking later and the forest finally gives way to farmland once more, vast fields of grain being the only thing left between us and the city. Now that relative safety of civilized lands is in reach, it strikes me again how beautiful it is out here. Even the grain fields are a new and exciting sight to my eyes. I simply haven't seen unthreshed wheat more than a few times before, and the hypnotic way it flows in the breeze captures my gaze like nothing in the city can manage. The forest is even more beautiful, full of exotically colored flowers and dazzling spreads of insects. Though I rarely get to appreciate any of them due to the constant danger of simply being there. "Oh, I should mention, Penta," I murmur, raising a hand, palm flat. "You were pretty awesome out there. Ripping your own body's limbs off was fucking brutal." Penta smirks with my mouth, bringing my other hand up and completing the self-high five. "If not for all the times you've gotten the shit kicked out of you, Vita, I probably would have been too scared of pain to try it. You were remarkably resistant to trauma." "Well, if that was too brutal for you, you could always hold a body still while I impale it through the eyes instead," I comment. "I feel like that's worse. I'm not sure if that would be worse, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to find out." I cackle, earning a very concerned look from Penelope. I grin at her. "Oh, Like you don't get giddy when you're figuring out how to make some beastie melt from the inside, I rib. I've seen your biomancy grin. My what? Penelope protests. Your biomancy grin. I answer. You know, when your face looks like you downed a bag full of glee shrooms whenever you get to use your talent to kill something. I do not have a biomancy grin. You super do, Penta comments. It's okay. We can admit that modifying liver cells to release anticoagulants into the bloodstream is ingenious both medically and poetically after Vita nearly died to that very same poison. Well, yes, I suppose it did give me some measure of amusement to turn the forest's dangers back against it, but the real fun came from introducing it arbitrarily via infection. Penta finishes for her. Poison is boring. Making the body produce the poison it's poisoning itself with? That's hilarious. Well, making the body produce its own doom is the fundamental basis of disease. It's not that revolutionary. I merely like the idea of extrapolating on that, altering the basic concept to adapt a filtering system into the reverse. I suppose it might not have been the most efficient way to get the job done, but when given time and opportunity I think it is important to occasionally forego standardized methods in order to experiment. I grin internally, letting the two of them chat. Damn, Penelope was desperate to talk nerdy with someone, huh? My body moves on its own now, the will of a friend guiding it along. When unwanted, I see how thoroughly this feeling would be a dread horror. I, however, can be comfortable and safe with the knowledge that I hold Penta's life in my complete control and can kill her at any moment. I'm vaguely aware that's maybe not the best foundation to build a friendship on, but it is what it is. Now that I don't have to worry about my body for a while, I'm free to concentrate on souls. Specifically, my soul. The last time I took a real deep look at it was quite a few blasphemies ago. I always feel it, but I feel it in the way I always feel my own skin. It's just there. Before, it was a small, black thing, cracked with flashes of light underneath. Now, the cracks are wider, scintillating colors flashing beneath the hard, rough shell like a chaotic storm. Some part of me, squirms inside, stretching gleefully as my soul grows. Some of the cracks are so wide that maybe, I can push bits of myself out. I want to come out. I'm ready, if I choose, to cast off my dark shell and hatch. To cast off the veneer of humanity that keeps me contained. I do not require these pathetic trappings any longer. Vita, hey. My body shouts, slapping itself lightly. You okay in there? My thoughts stall. What was? How about you don't do whatever you were about to do? She murmurs. Okay? Yeah, okay. That sounds good. At my agreement, Penta relinquishes control of the body, leaving me to walk the rest of the way back to Skyhope in silence. We return to Skyhope unaccosted, and I am immediately thankful that Penta stopped me from fucking around with my soul. I don't know if other people would be able to sense that, and, for some reason, Templars are everywhere. Is it war? Doesn't seem like it. They didn't stop Penelope or me at the gate, so they're probably not after me either. Are Lynn and Rowan okay? Rowan is working with the Templars, but Lynn is wanted by them. It's a toss-up on whether or not this is actually good. What the heck is going on? I had completely forgotten Hiverock was passing over tonight, Penelope comments, staring at the sky. I follow her gaze towards tonight's incoming island, a monstrous, vertical ovoid covered in artificial fortifications. The best guess people of Skyhope have is that the entire inside of the island has been hollowed out to make them, the creatures living within consigning themselves to eternal darkness as they built their nation inside. Oh yeah, I murmur. Me too. It's kind of been a crazy few days, huh? Explains the Templars swarming all over the place. Penelope hums noncommittally, staring up at the island. I suppose we'll be drafted, since we're hunters now. Do you think they'll attack us? I ask. She scowls, thinking. Staring out at this distance, there's no way I can make out the thousands of bug people that might be crawling along the outer walls, ready to drop. Though the island passes over 4 times a year due to its quick orbit, I've never actually seen any of the battles, only heard the chaos. Street rats know better than to wander out of hiding on Hiverock nights. I haven't the faintest idea what Hiverock will do, Vita. They haven't attacked in over a year. With luck, we've finally convinced them we're not worth the effort. But perhaps they've simply been preparing. I nod. What a pain, although, if there was a big battle, maybe I'd be able to collect a bunch of human souls. That could be good. Whoa there, that took a sudden turn, my mouth murmurs involuntarily. Penta. I didn't mean it would be good if people died, I meant that, if they're going to die, I may as well. We are going to need to find somewhere private to talk, Penta whispers quietly. Soon, please. Okay. I'll figure something out. If you could not embarrass me by talking to yourself in public, Vita, it would be appreciated, Penelope says flatly. We still need to alert the guild's branch leader about Remus. Or I suppose we could go right to the Templars, with all of them out and about. Yeah, no Templars, I insist. Let's handle the branch leader. You'll need me there, then, Penelope replies confidently. Honestly, I should do it all myself. He's not going to want to talk to you. Rude, I comment, wrinkling my nose. So he's going to want to talk to you, then? I am a noble of House Vesuvius, she responds haughtily. He's obligated to talk to me. What are you going to tell him? I ask. I don't want to contradict you by accident. Just the truth, Penelope answers. No need for a complex lie. I frown, quickly ushering her into an empty ally. You're not gonna tell him about Penta, are you? Honestly, I'd rather not be the one called out for saving us, either. Can you take credit for that? She scowls back at me. You're still hiding more things, aren't you? Yes, I say bluntly. So let's not talk about it out here. Please. I don't like this, Penelope tells me. I don't like this at all. You're suspicious. You're foolish. You're dangerous. You just want me to go along with it? I won't. You're already asking too much of me just to keep that thing alive. Hey, she saved our asses back there, I whisper. It saved itself. We're a bonus. That thing isn't human, and it isn't your friend. Penelope, it will be fine. I can. My words suddenly cut off, a jolt of fear running through me as my body stops being my own. I clutch at Penta's soul, ready to rip it out. If I may speak for myself? The slime asks sweetly. I'm no longer a threat to you, Penelope. In fact, our positions have been thoroughly reversed. I am the prisoner now. Surely that poetic justice is satisfying to some degree? You look free to me, monster, Penelope growls. Vita will sleep eventually, and nothing will stop you from taking another body and running. Gratitude will. And if you don't believe that, fear will. You can become anyone. Anything. You have nothing to fear, you liar. I fear Vita, Penta tells her, as pleasantly as ever. And when she tells you her secrets, you will too. That's enough, I demand. My secrets aren't yours to hint at. Oop, I'm being put back in my cage, Penta says. Ta-ta for now. Hey, that's not what this is, I protest, but Penta detaches from my spinal cord and sulks around under my skin, unable to hear for now. I scowl. Where did that come from? Penelope glares at me in silence for a while before responding. She sighs in a huff. We'll keep doing it your way, Vita, but only if you promise to tell me what you're up to. I take a deep breath. Fuck. Well, the girl that literally has all of Penelope's memories recommended it, so I can take a leap of faith, I guess. I will. As soon as it's actually safe to have a conversation. Okay? I promise. Just hear me out until the end, okay? It's a lot. I'll promise to hear you out. I won't promise to agree with you. And I won't lie about you killing the slimes. I scowl. Not ideal. I don't want my kill power public, but I guess I have to compromise somewhere. You won't mention Penta? I confirm. I won't, she answers begrudgingly. I won't help you hide that thing, but I won't bring it up. Fine, I agree. I need to go home and help get everyone safe for the Hiver Rock. We'll meet up at the guild later, okay? She opens her mouth to protest, but ends up just huffing out air. Okay, she says instead. Make sure those kids are safe. I grin. Or, she cares. Okay. Running off towards home, I poke at my neck a bit. Is Penta sulking? I keep prodding at her until she takes control again, I run not even stuttering. She was getting good at that really fast. What? She snaps. You seem mad? I prompt. Is everything okay? Not particularly, no. This isn't exactly the relationship I had in mind, Vita. You seem to want to help me out because you want to be my friend, but you keep amending that statement with "and if she's not my friend, I can just fucking murder her." Believe it or not, feeling someone hold a drawn bow to my head whenever I do anything is a little stressful. Sorry, I murmur. But if you run away or start splitting, you're kind of a huge threat to countless people. Oh, like you're not, Penta scoffs. So much for sympathy between monsters. Oh, and your mental musings on letting me replicate in order to farm my children are just extra fun to sift through. That was not. It's just an idea that popped through my head. It wasn't a serious consideration. Unless she was amicable. I don't know if she can not replicate? So if that's happening regardless, it might be a mercy to. You're literally considering it right now, Penta points out. Look, Vita. I get where you're coming from with this. The longer I stay in you, the more I get where you're coming from with this. But the reverse doesn't seem to be true. Learn to empathize. I can empath. Don't argue with me on this, Penta says, cutting me off again. Please. If you keep thinking of me as a tool, that's all I'm going to end up thinking of myself. I scowl. I don't think of her as a tool, do I? I think of her as a person. I saved her life. I let her live in my body. What more does she want from me? Sorry. Never mind, forget I brought it up, Penta says sulkily. Can you at least get along with Penelope so I don't die? Duh, I want to befriend Penelope anyway. Although I'm curious. Can she? Yes, she can kill me. Of course she can. I might be able to counter her biomancy plagues, but she came up with half a dozen that could end my life from a distance, and I've no doubt she could come up with more. Counter how? I think, giving up on speaking aloud. She's a learned biomancer. I have her memories. So, I'm a learned biomancer. Sick. No, the opposite of that. You literally can't not know what I meant. And the fact that you are both aware of that and okay with it is intimately disturbing to me. Aren't you worried about your secrets? I mean, it's not like it isn't freaky, I think. But ultimately I don't really like keeping secrets. It's necessary, not desirable. So it's kind of nice to have another monster to share with. Believe it or not, I don't actually want to be a monster at all. Let's hope your family doesn't think of us that way. We're almost there. I know. I finish my sprint to the shack, still feeling energetic from my recent soul gorging. I knock on the door, and Lynn pulls it open to grab me into a massive hug. Vita. You're back. She cheers. Just in time. Is there any chance you can stay home and help defend for Rock? Oh geez, I blink, not having considered that. I want to, and if you need me I probably can, but I promise to head back to the guild cause there's a lot going on. Can we head down below maybe? Yeah, sure, Lynn says. You okay, kiddo? Down. I insist. Down, down, down. I hop down the ladder, a concerned Lynn following. It's not that much of a drop, but it's really cool that I can just jump now and not worry about hurting myself. Rowan is already down there, and he turns and flashes a huge grin at me when I drop in. Vita. Hey. How are you doing? Really weird. I answer, running up to hug him. He grabs me and returns the hug, spinning me once. Weird how? He asks. Lynn finishes closing the hatch and drops down afterwards, looking thoughtful. Well, do you guys think I'm not empathetic? Well, I wouldn't say that, Rowan hedged. But I do think you have a very different worldview than most people. You tend to filter things through that. That's totally normal though, Lynn adds. Everyone does that. Why are you asking? Well, the parasite who lives in my brain and has access to all my memories says I'm not empathetic enough. There's a beach of silence. I mean, normally I would just assume she's being a bitch, I continue, but she'd probably know, right? Rowan and Lynn look at each other, as if to confirm the other was feeling just as confused and horrified as they were. Vita, what did you do? Rowan asks. Nothing. I protest. Okay, technically a lot of things, but... Okay. Look, so on our way back from the mission, Penelope and Remus both got infected by these mind control slimes that are only as smart as whoever they're controlling, right? The one in Remus is a huge jerk that tried to infect me, but the one in Penelope was super nice and helped heal the kids and stuff. So when I found out they were all slimes, I didn't want to kill her, but she has to be in somebody's body, and being trapped in her own body was a waking nightmare for the real Penelope, so I had to let her hang out in mine. Her name is Penta, because she's like an amalgam of me and Penelope's heads. Also, if anybody else finds out about her, she'll probably die. Wanna talk to her? Sure. Lynn says, deciding to embrace the crazy. Penta takes full control, smoothly altering my posture to be more like how Penelope carries herself. She didn't normally, perhaps it was for Lynn and Rowan's benefit. Hello, you two, she says. I know a lot about you, but it's nice to finally meet in person. Hello. Penta, Rowan says slowly. What are you, exactly? I am a translucent pseudo-liquid approximately 2 inches in diameter when condensed into a spherical shape. I am capable of permeating flesh and integrating with the body's nervous system in order to read and spoof commands. In other words, mind control slime about covers it. And you can just do that? Lynn asks. To anyone, yes, Penta says. At least so far as I know. Although you don't have to worry. If I attempt to leave Vita's body, she will kill me. So for now, we're taking turns. I chime in. Which is to say I'm mostly just hiding. Vita's natural abilities make me a non-threat to her, as for some reason she can still use them when I'm in control, Penta finishes. You know, Rowan says, just when I think I can start to relax about you, Vita, you always find some way to make me utterly terrified again. She's a teenager, Penta says. That's how fathers are supposed to feel. Rowan chokes on something and starts coughing. Hey. Rowan isn't my dad. Vita, Rowan could not possibly be any more your dad. Just like Lynn is. Lynn's face twitches dangerously. Your big sister, Penta finishes, not missing a beat. Lynn grins, suitably mollified. Velp, I like her. She says. This is betrayal. I protest. Lynn is totally my mom and you know it. Can we stop arguing parental lineage and address the fact that you have a slime from outside the walls living inside your head? Rowan asks, exasperated. Yes, I'm going to need a place to hide, I suspect, Penta says. Will you? I ask. Biomancers can't even detect you, right? I was lying through my teeth about that, Penta explains. I could absolutely detect myself with Penelope's spells. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hunters Guild has other ways to deal with Nora as well, since they're aware of us. But where would we hide you? I murmur, glancing at Lynn and Rowan. Hell no, Rowan says firmly, holding up his hands. Vita, I love you to death, but the fact that you somehow managed to make yourself even more existentially disturbing is both impressive and not something I want a part of. Yeah, please don't put your parasite in anyone, honey, Lynn says. No offense to Penta, but that's not going to fly here. I frown, but nod. That makes sense. Having my body controlled by a slime wasn't exactly the most fun thing in the world. Sorry, Penta murmurs. It's fine, I think back. I knew it would be like that when I took you in. But now we've got to figure out how the hell to hide you. How long can you live outside a body? Not long, Penta admits. I'll start to starve after a few minutes without a host. Knowing what I know now, I think my body starts to consume my soul for energy to survive that. I think that's what causes me to lose memories. I frown. Interesting. So you can eat souls too? No. Not like you do at all. But you've seen that sick and dying creatures have strained souls, right? My species is always strained outside of a host. Our bodies aren't designed to function on their own. Yet instead of dying like we should, we consume our very beings for fuel. So can we just put you in a rat? It would certainly help, yes. But a rat's brain can't do what I need a brain for anymore. My soul is too big. I'd probably still start to lose myself after a while. I thought Penelope was disproving the whole brain-soul link. I have my own theory, Penta said. We can use you to confirm it. But later. Surviving the day comes first. I glance at Lynn and Rowan, their faces placid as they wait patiently for me to stop babbling to myself like a crazy woman. I'm honestly surprised you don't even question the mind control slime, I tell them. It's less surprising than the animancy thing, Lynn says, shrugging. By the way, we got you another rat bucket to celebrate your return. Oh, sweet. I cheer, grinning. told you she'd like it, Lynn says, nudging Rowan. He puts his face in his hands. Watcher, why is my entire family insane? He asks ruefully. 'Cause you like 'em crazy, Lynn purrs, running a finger down his cheek. Gross. I retrieve my bucket of rats, happily tearing out a handful of souls. The rats screech in terror as their kin die in droves, trapped in a pile of soon-to-be corpses, unable to escape. I toss their souls in my mouth like popcorn. Yum. Save one for me to hide in until we get a better plan, Pento insists, halting my hand. A flash of fury passes through me at the takeover, but I take a breath and let it pass. Okay. Good idea, I admit. I also wanna see if we can use one of the rat corpses to make Amy Slime Revenant. You know, of the Nora that Remus put in me? I've been hanging on to that soul since I figure it'll probably have good information. There's a long pause before Penta responds. Well, go ahead, she answers eventually. I had no special attachment to her, and she might have good information. Whoa, hold on. Lynn says. You wanna make a zombie in the house? No, I say. I wanna make a revenant in the house. Is that safe? She asks. Vita controls them, Rowan says. I'm not sure if the Templars can detect that, though. There aren't any nearby, I reply. Everyone within 200 meters is way too small souled to be one. Still, it seems like a risk, Lynn says hesitantly. If the Templars can sense soul weirdness, we're probably fucked anyway. I think a mine's about to hatch. Hatch? Rowan asks. What does that mean? I have absolutely no idea. I pluck a corpse out of the murder bucket, nabbing Slime Vita's soul as well. Putting the two together, I find that this time it sticks just fine. The rat looks around in confusion, and squeaks. Hey there, I tell it. Can you understand me? The rat nods. It looks around rapidly, then scurries over to a dirty part of the floor, starting to scratch something into the ground. I'm not a good reader, surprise surprise, but I've slowly picked up the alphabet and can sound out small words. The ones here, I understand. Hi Mum. This must be how Lynn feels.